Linda Ely. As always, Linda. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Universal Spirit Center. I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. I'm going to invite you to let go of all that came before and all that's going to come after. And then the awareness of a deep, full, conscious breath. We just come present here. So Sharonda, Linda, Gino, and I are going to join you in creating a space here, a stillness and a spaciousness to be aware of infinite presence that dwells within and surrounds us. So I invite you to just open to that experience now. Open the experience of a loving, intelligent presence. That same presence that created the moon and the stars and the galaxies. It resides within you as an intimate presence. So we become still and we open to that I am presence.
Let us open our hearts and sing out, be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know I am God. Be still and know I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
Let's just stay in this stillness, this peaceful moment. Taking the journey from the outer to the inner, let us be still and know that God is, that I am, that you are, that we are. How good it is to know that in this stillness, in this right here, right now presence, that we are in the presence of the divine, that everything happens right here, right now, on point, on time. And that God is that presence that is never an absence. As we dwell in this nowness, everything unfolds with ease and grace, with power, with joy, magnificence. And we just know that here today we are so blessed to be right here, right now, in this point in time. So how good it is to know that as this beautiful Universal Spirit Center gathering unfolds, the music, the wisdom of Gino and Reverend Kevin is magnificent. So let us join together in this right here, right now moment and just let Spirit do what Spirit does in this moment, right here, right now.
That I am God. Be still and know I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
Join with me as we take in this reading. It has no author, it is anonymous, but it's powerful. Enjoy where you are now. You are right where you're supposed to be. We are all guilty of getting wrapped into where we should be, and all that does is cause stress and anxiety. Stay here. Stay present. Love yourself as you are. Stay engaged in the now.
As we bring our awareness back, if you feel the call to join me in on the breath of God. The breath of God is breathing me and resting in the breath of God. I know that all is well. The breath of God is breathing me and resting in the breath of God. I know that all is well. The grace of God is grace in me and resting in the grace of God. I know that all is well. The joy of God is joy in me and resting in the joy of God. I know that all is well. The love of God is love in me and resting in the love of God. I know that all is well. The breath of God is breathing me and resting in the breath of God. I know that all is well. The breath of God is breathing me and resting in the breath of God. I know that all is well. I know that all is well. I know that all is
Right. Let's acknowledge Gino and Linda and Sharonda. So we are live this morning because one time we happened to go live on First Gathering and 25 people joined in. Yeah, just a spontaneous. So welcome any of you who join in this morning. You can see my head there. Maybe we'll get a better shot of me there. I like to come down to the floor to be a little closer to the peeps, to the people, the people. So this song that Gino sang, The Breath of God, it reminds me of that scripture verse in the Old Testament where God created our bodies and then breathed its breath into us. And then we receive life, we receive consciousness, right? So our very breath is sacred. It's just a thought I had. Very breath is sacred. So I had quite a week that I'm going to share with you, but a little later in the talk. But towards the end of the week, I ran into this quote by Einstein. You've probably heard it before, by Albert Einstein. There are only two ways to live your life. One way is though nothing's a miracle. The other is though everything is a miracle. The other way to live your life is though everything's a miracle. Imagine 14 billion years ago. Stillness. Actually, if you want to close your eyes, and imagine 14 billion years ago, just imagine stillness. Absolute, complete stillness. feel this stillness in your body. And in this stillness develops, creates a spaciousness. So experience within yourselves a spaciousness. In this stillness, absolute peace. In this stillness, absolute unity. In this stillness, complete potential. So take a deep breath into this peace, into this spaciousness, and this unity. Potential. And I invite you to bring your awareness back to the room here. So scientists tell us this is how everything started. That first there was absolute stillness, spaciousness, complete peace. And then what occurred was a gathering of energy, scientists tell us. And the gathering of energy became so intense that there was an explosion of light. First light. And from that act, let there be light, from that act, all matter was created. Every person, every being, everything that exists had the same origins, this first light. 14 billion years later, because of an evolutionary impulse moving through that first act, you and I, and this moment, are here. Just imagine that. The evolutionary impulse. That 14 billion years after that first light, you and I, conscious, thinking, feeling beings, exist here. Exist now. So I did some research over in the internet. I did some research about the likelihood of us existing, you and I existing here, and all this apparent randomness for 14 billion years. So could we see that slide? There's a slide that we're showing. If you could read that, I'm going to go through the existence of that life exists at all is 1 times 10 to the 39th, 390th power. I don't even know what that really means, but I think it means it's like long shot, right? That life exists at all. Because if the process would have happened a fraction of a second earlier or later, if the evolutionary process at the beginning would have happened the degree was a little warmer or cooler, life wouldn't have happened. The chances of your parents meeting, so the internet says, is 1 in 20,000. The chances of your mom's egg and your dad's sperm coming together to create you, of all the other individuals it could have created in that range, is 400 with 15 zeros behind it. The act of their parents conceiving you, 400 plus 15 zeros after that. So the odds, given all that, the odds of you existing at all is 10 times 2 comma 685,000. One chance, 10 times that number. Basically, the probability of you existing is 0. It's 0. The internet says that. It's 0. And yet, you're here. And I'm here. There's a bumper sticker in my neighborhood this woman has on her car. It says, evolution is the miracle. I love that. Here's the truth. You and I belong to a greater whole. Everything is connected. That is just the truth about us. In psychology, some schools of psychology say that our greatest desire is to be connected, is to belong. And it's just in our DNA to be connected, to experience unity, to have an experience of intimacy, to fit in. You know, our greatest fear is to be abandoned, to be rejected. So one of the things that our philosophy really holds, Ernest Holmes says this evolutionary impulse that started at the beginning and runs through all things is God. God is the evolutionary process. So God is an action word, is a verb versus a noun. And that this evolutionary process continues to happen today. And I talked last week how this evolutionary process is happening through us as a species, right? That many spiritual writers say that we're on an edge of birthing a new consciousness. And that many things that we're experiencing now, the struggle as a race, the struggle, the conflict, is our shadow side. Is our shadow side or our contraction in the birthing process that we just need to go through, right? For the species to birth a new consciousness. This evolutionary process is also happening individually for you and for me. And it shows up for you whenever you want to improve yourself. Whenever you want to be better, whenever you want to be engaged or connected, whenever you desire to love or to be intimate, whenever you're charitable or kind, whenever you recognize another as a part of you, that's the evolutionary process that's happening through you and through me. Whenever we say yes to the call in our soul, we're participating in the evolutionary impulse. Whenever you and I say yes. You and I now as thinking beings also have an opportunity, not an opportunity, an option to step out of this evolutionary process, to shut down, to close down, to be resistant, to step out of the flow, to identify ourselves as separate, as not mattering, as not counting. Then you and I step aside from this evolutionary flow. You and I isolate and shut down and think we're not good enough. But the evolutionary flow still will happen through the universe. We just step out of the flow. We just step out of that opportunity for expansion, that opportunity to thrive. So somewhere along the line of this evolutionary process, humanity developed ego, right? That wasn't innate in us. It's something that we developed over time, the human species. And ego is good because ego assists us in maneuvering through present-day reality. Present-day reality can be complicated, can be confusing. There's a lot of choices. And ego assists us in moving through that. In the book, I've been talking about what's in the way is the way. Mary O'Malley says, when ego acts as our servant, then it's good. Then it's powerful. It's a servant. When it acts as the boss, when it's in control, then it becomes a horrible monster. Because when ego's in control, it will look at what's wrong in a situation. It will look at what's missing in a situation. It will look at how can I be right in a situation. It will look at who needs to be fixed. And that definitely takes us out of the flow. When we use ego as a way to focus our energy, focus our awareness where we want it focused, where we want our awareness, then it's a good servant. But when we let ego run our lives, it squeezes out that evolutionary impulse. We see in the evolutionary process for the 14 billion years, we see struggle. We see a dying away. We see at times a starting over. We could see it as simple as the seed that breaks open, that struggles, the new plant struggles to move towards the sun. So struggle, a dying away, a starting over, is part of the evolutionary process. It's part of what happens. So many times in our life, we encounter struggle. Many times in our lives, we encounter having to start over. Many times in our life, we encounter a dying away of what's less. But when struggle becomes our focus, when struggle becomes our sole reality, we don't allow the new life to come through. So struggle is necessary for our evolution. What struggle are you going through in your life right now that's needed for your further evolution? Another thing with struggle is we got to get some distance from it. Got to take a breath. Kind of pull away and realize there's more to us that's going on than the struggle. Anyone want to share maybe what the struggle is that you're going through right now that really is fertilizer for the newness that wants to happen?
The need to get everything done today.
The need to get everything done today. Busyness. Constant busyness. Good. Thanks, Joe. Anyone else? Martha. the need to fix your son. Who's got on their agenda the need to fix someone? Off and on. So I want to share kind of a struggle that I've been going through lately, kind of just the last couple of weeks. So I shared last week that I was adopted, and in the mid-20s met my birth mom, and she basically, after some initial communication for a few months, really didn't want to continue a relationship. So I mentioned that, and I reached out about 1.5 years ago because I found a first cousin, and he kind of got me in touch with her. And again, she didn't want to continue a relationship. So I struggled with that off and on through the years, from the time probably I found out that I was adopted. Off and on, it was kind of a struggle, and I made peace with it. To some degree, it wasn't really something that was prevalent in my life. I think most adoptees, on some level, at various times in their life, struggle with this, relationship with birth parents. So, as I shared last week, I found out last Friday that she had died, and my cousin, who I'd found 1 year ago, told me that. And it was a very interesting situation to be in. How do I mourn someone? I asked myself the question, how do I mourn someone I've never really known or met, but was significant in my birth, right? And I realized I got to move from my head to my heart about that. So Saturday, probably Thursday, I got a text. I was on a chain of texts, and they were cousins, a group of cousins that I had not met, first cousins, and they were telling me and everyone on the text that there's a memorial for my mom on Friday morning, and that it was going to be videotaped, so we could all watch it. So A, I introduced myself to these cousins on the text, and then B, I watched this funeral, this graveside funeral for this woman that I had never really met in person, And I just have to tell you, I had been aware to some degree, I was aware of the struggle off and on through the years about that. And in that moment, I felt such peace about the relationship. I felt like the relationship was exactly how it was supposed to be. That our relationship was exactly what I needed for my evolution. I know it might be hard to fully understand that, but I totally felt it. I felt that whatever happened in that struggle was supposed to happen, and it made me who I was today. I felt her love. I felt for both of us a lot of forgiveness, and I felt peace. So I say this story because I think it's a good example how you and I could look at struggle. That no matter what struggle we're going through, if we can take a breath, if we can get some stillness and some spaciousness, we can kind of get a bigger picture, a greater happening through the struggle, and gain some awareness that this struggle is part of the journey, that it's not something to resist or fight. But Mary O'Malley talks about 5 qualities to assist us to move through struggle. I'm going to change mics. She talks about 5 qualities to help us move through struggle. The first, she says, is stillness. That we become still. that we relax the body, we slow down the mind, and in the stillness, we create a spaciousness. And in that spaciousness, an energy, a revelation, an insight, a flow could happen. And as that flow happens, we experience light and love. And we experience light and love because that's our true nature. That's the nature of the universe. And so when you and I can gain some distance, lessen the expectations and the agendas, and move into a softness. So Mary O'Malley, in her great book, which is actually in the back there for sale if you're interested, What's in the Way is the Way. These 5 qualities, she doesn't reference it, but they're same qualities that we before the beginning of time. The stillness before creation. The spaciousness. The gathering of energy, the flow. And then the experience of first light. So I think here we have a roadmap and how not to get lost or consumed or overwhelmed or over-identify with the struggle. But allow the flow, the light, the love, the grace, the stillness bring us to another reality. So I'm going to invite you right now to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. So I'm going to read this reading again. Enjoy where you are now. You are right where you are supposed to be. Stay here. Stay present. Love yourself. Love yourself just as you are. So we participate in the stillness that was before creation. We engage in the spaciousness before all of time. We experience the flow, the energy, the song of creation. We are filled with light and with love.
held a song inside of me. So I sing a song of joy. I sing a song of knowing that all is truly well, and heaven is at hand. Sometimes I may cry that I don't know where I'm going, but God's love prevails, as God's love only can. When there was no time, and before there was a number, Spirit did prevail, a song in ecstasy. And before I had a dream or a lesson to remember, Spirit gently held a song inside of me. So I sing a song of joy. I sing a song of knowing that all is truly well, and compassion is at hand. Sometimes I may cry that the world is such a liar, but God's love does prevail, as God's love only can. For when there was no time, and before I could remember, Spirit did prevail, a song in ecstasy. And before I had a dream or a lesson to remember, Spirit gently held a song inside of me. Oh, yeah, 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 a song inside of me. Oh, yeah, 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 a song inside of you. Ooh, a song inside of you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. A song inside of you and me. A song inside of us.
No, isn't that a great song? And you do that so well.
Thank you.
So now's our time for giving and receiving. You've probably heard that a generous member of our community is putting forth $10,000. Someone generous in our community has given us up to $10,000 for a matching fund, and we're inching our way up to our goal of $10,000, which is we're at about $3,000. So I ask you to consider giving to that fund, as well as the ways that you already support Universal Spirit Center. So thank you for your support of us. Thank you for all the ways that you contribute and that you share. So I'm going to invite you to place your hands over your heart. to breathe into a place of stillness, a place of spaciousness, a place of flow. And just right now, take a moment and experience your own abundant nature. The way that you are supported by an infinite presence. And just allow that flow, that infinite flow, to move from you out into your world. Let's know this together as we say, so it is.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. This wonderful, this wonderful, wonderful day. Now I'm going to ask you all to join in with me. Lift your hearts up. Feel it. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you.
So first Sunday in August. Who was born in August? Anyone? Eileen was. Of everyone in the room. So glad you were born, Eileen. Thank you. So we're looking at creating a setup and a tear-down team. So setup happens so that these two guys can get a break once in a while, right? Look at them. They're getting old. They need help, lots of help. So please help them by seeing them if you want. See Lee, if you want to be part of this team to help them as they get really old. So one of you are coming up here, right? Or both of you? Oh.
Just go here. All right, family. So just another shout out. We are opening up the choir. So if you're feeling that to sing along, we're doing, getting ready for our 21st anniversary. So love to have you join. Just send me an email or just tap me on my shoulder. Gino@universalspiritcenter.org. Also, our REP, we've opened up our meetings. We meet every second and fourth Tuesday of the month at 4 o'clock. You go on our Zoom page, on our webpage, go to the community Zoom, pop in if you have ideas or suggestions. And this month, the book is by the one and only Alice Walker. Is it The Trouble with Familiar? The Trouble with Familiar. I've just started reading it. Is the who? The who? The temple. The temple. Well, speak it out so I can hear it. Jeepers. They mumbling. And last but not least, this Wednesday, I'm really excited because this month is International Indigenous Peoples Month. And so this Wednesday, we will be talking about how indigenous spirituality, how it can expand and explore and look at how the resources of that will keep our world going. So I hope you join me here or online.
I'm next. Hi, everybody. Lee Armentrout here. And we're having a 21st anniversary coming up in September. We've been around 21 years. I can remember it well. I was only 20, in spite of what Reverend Kevin just said. So what does that look like? What kind of celebration might we have? Spirit knows, I don't. Perhaps Spirit through you knows. I'm going to be at the office next Saturday at 10 a.m. And we'll have a meditative visioning process, and perhaps we'll find out what Spirit's idea for our anniversary is. So I invite you to that. Any extra questions, come see me.
Thank you, old man. Hi, this is Bob Mosai. I have the rest of your announcements. I said, thank you, old man. So guess what? We're bringing back Feed 'em and Fun 'em. Yay, so we're looking for hosts, somebody that can host a dinner event or a non-food event. So there's a table outside. We're looking for the host to sign up and put that together. And then if you see something out there that you like, participants can go out there and sign up on that sheet too. And then you go online to get a ticket once you've picked an event. Our history. On August 5th, 2012, a white man named Wade Michael Page opened fire on worshipers at a Sikh temple in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, killing 6 people and seriously injuring several others before taking his own life. To overcome racial inequality, we must confront our history. We all are a part of our history. And speaking of Noah's Ark, so Noah is checking all the animals in as he does, as he did, and 2 worms came up and said, "Hey, we want to get on board." He said, "I'm sorry, you're not allowed." They said, "Why not?" He said, "You have to be in pairs."
Did we get that joke? Did we get it? Yeah. Oh, I got it, but yeah. You didn't get it. So see Bob afterwards if you didn't get it. See Sharada for prayer. See Lee to help him as he tears down, set up. See Bob if you need an explanation of the joke. Okay, let's stand. And Gino for choir.
Yes.
Hands over your heart. So breathe right now in an open, still, spacious, full heart. Realigned right now with the power of an open heart. Let's know the grace to rise above the struggle. To move to a sense of spaciousness and light. So I know we go forth in the experience of light and grace and love. Let's know this together as we say.
And so it is. Let's bless this Sunday with song. We are part of something greater. Yes. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our soul, 'cause we are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us ever be. I love you, Universal Spirit Center. Take that out into your day and remember you are love and you are a loving light. Yes. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our soul. 'Cause we are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be, ever be. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Peace and blessings, my angels.